All right, we're going to look at Caroline's butterfly. Good start there. And one thing that you need to work a little bit more on is the hips. You're not using the hips so much, so you can see that the upper body is having to carry the legs behind you. And you can see how high you're coming out of the water. Remember, you want to keep the head down just a little bit more in line with the body and look out the tops of the eyes. There, you're kind of looking more at the deck, so that's going to create more of dropping the hips and the legs. The other thing I'd like to see is that you bring the arms around to the side just a little bit at more of an ease. And what I mean by that is what we talked about is when I come and I have to bring my arms up and over, it's creating a lot of stress on my upper back. And we don't want that, because as we go into a longer butterfly, in terms of 200 butterfly, it's going to be a lot more pressure on my arms. You can get a lot more out of the kick, and I think that's going to help you immensely. The other thing is, remember, when we go to breathe, we just want to push the chin forward and up, and just barely move the head up, and just keep the chin more towards right on that water line. You can see when you're bringing the body up and or when you're bringing the head up to breathe, you're bringing those arms up and over, and you can see how the legs are not getting a lot of kick. So one drill I'd like you to work on, which we worked on before, is when we have the arms straight out in front of us, and we do 2 kicks, getting the hips up, and on the 3rd kick, we then use the arms. You can kind of see we got to get a little bit more of a tempo to our fly, and we got to get the fly going just a little bit more, and that's going to be driven from the hips and the kick. But I think, this was filmed at the beginning of the week, and I think if you looked at your fly now, you'd see a big difference in improvement. I would just say keep working on those details, and I think you're going to see even more improvement. But it's been a pleasure to have you in camp, and it's been a great week, and keep up the good work. Okay, we're going to look at Caroline's butterfly underwater. And the one thing that I think you adjusted well this week, and I can tell already, this is earlier in the week, and you can see how that chin is going deep into the neck. You did a really good job, I feel, of adjusting the head position and doing what we talked about, like the ski jumper. So if my body line is in that position, my head needs to stay in line with that and not dip too far down. I think you did a good job of adjusting that. The other thing that you need to be careful of is your kick is coming a lot from the knee. You can see that knee bend. You can see how far apart those the legs are. When you do that, and you do so much knee bend, what happens is I'm having to bring my upper body way out of the water, and at some point I'm going to be moving more vertical with my body, and so then I'm not going to be pushing forward through the stroke. The other thing is I see that your recovery is a little bit wide. The catch is a little wide. Want to make sure you remember doing the half circle motion with the arms. That way I'm not bending the arms over. And you can see as you bend the arms over, you're not reaching as far as you could, and you're also dipping down a lot. And what's happening is you're starting to carry the legs with you. So that's one thing that I'd really caution you on. Try to do more of what we talked about with the easy arm recovery, and also pushing the chin forward, just getting the chin on the top of the surface. That's what we're looking for. But I think you made some great improvements this week. Keep up the good work, and hope to see you again next summer.